Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor. The fight that shocked many fans and many viewers around the world. The 10-year undefeated, reigning, dominant champion and the only featherweight champion in UFC history faced against what many people thought was going to be his most dangerous opponent and the fighter that would most likely beat him and take the title from him. But no one would have guessed how the outcome came to be. A stunning 13-second knockout against one of the greatest fighters of all time. So how do you explain that? It's something that cannot be anticipated or predicted. What caused this? Why did this happen? Was it a fluke? Was it due to Aldo throwing a combo that he's never thrown before? Aldo being too emotional? Aldo rushing too much? Was it Conor being very well prepared and anticipating that movement from Aldo? So judging of what a fluke is. A fluke is pretty much something that will have a very slim chance of happening or a bit of luck to happen. So was this really lucky? Conor catching Aldo as Aldo's coming in. Let's look at the actual sequence here. Conor is using the in and out movement to bait Aldo into coming in. And you can see Conor was not attempting to lead the fight, or he was not attempting to come at Aldo with a big shot. What Conor was trying to do is bait him with footwork and pick at him from the outside with fast but not powerful shots to make Aldo come at him. Because if Aldo doesn't, he's going to get eaten up by those leg kicks and he's going to get caught from the outside. So Aldo had to do something. And Aldo attempts to step on the outside with his left foot, fake a right hand down the middle, and he explodes very quickly. And what does Conor do? He hops back and with his right arm, he pulls down Aldo's fake right hand. So this is perfect for Aldo because he pulled a feint. He pulled the fake right hand down because it wasn't meant to land anyway. So what Aldo's trying to do is he's trying to come in and throw the left hook over the top and catch Conor hard. The problem here was Conor comes right over his deflection of Aldo's right hand. When he pulled Aldo's right hand down, he created an opening over the top for his left hand. And Aldo's coming straight at him with the left hook. He's exploding very fast, accelerating very quickly, and Conor just catches him down the middle. And remember what I've said in many of my videos. Straight punches will most of the time beat wide punches because they come straight down the middle. They have a shorter distance to travel, and they come on the inside where you can block wide punches using the shoulder. And the fact that Aldo accelerated so fast at Conor made the impact and the damage much more significant and caused a quick knockout. So now, was this a fluke? I've seen many people claim that Aldo's never thrown this combo before. Aldo never does this. He never explodes out of nowhere and throws this kind of combination. But if you look at one fight from Aldo, he has thrown this combo before in almost the exact same fashion. And he threw it at an opponent who resembled Conor McGregor almost to a T when it comes to size and stance. And yes, I'm talking about when he fought Kenny Florian. When he fought Kenny Florian, he threw this same exact combo in the same exact fashion. Kenny Florian is also 5'9", 74-inch reach, a southpaw, and stands really wide. And what Aldo tried to do, he did the same thing. He stepped on the outside, right hand down the middle. And why he did that to Kenny Florian is because Kenny Florian, being the longer fighter, he wants to retreat and put his hand out in front of Aldo. And Aldo's trying to come over Kenny's arm with the left hook. So he was most likely thinking the same thing about Conor McGregor. He most likely did not think Conor would have countered him. He probably thought Conor would have moved back and used his reach to get Aldo away. Aldo tries to get his head off the center line, move his head on the outside, so Conor's wide and sideways stance won't allow him to counter, especially with the left hand, which is what Aldo was aiming for. Aldo's trying to move his head on the outside and then come over the top, over Conor's arm with the left hook. Very similar to Kenny Florian, because again, Kenny resembles Conor in many ways. But what he didn't anticipate was Conor to move back and shift his hips, shift his body to the right, and seek Aldo's chin with the left hand. It didn't work there, so that is thrown out. People who say Aldo never utilizes this kind of movement is completely wrong. The combo and the way he exploded is very Aldo-esque. It's what he does. And he had to explode. He had to come at Conor in some fashion. And what he was thinking was, okay, this combo I used on Kenny would most likely work on Conor because they're very similar. And he had to come at him because he was getting picked from the outside. He was getting hit from a distance. So he had no choice but to go at Conor and put the pressure on him. But ultimately, it was what Conor wanted. Now there were people saying that there was no way Conor would have known that Aldo would have done this. There's no way that Conor would have landed this punch. He just threw a punch out there and he connected on Aldo and that's it. Again, I disagree with that. There's a backstage footage that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about, shows Conor actually prepare for this same sequence. you'll see him start to imitate Aldo, move forward, and you will see him do the same motion of where he backs up and throws the left hand down the middle. So no matter what, he was expecting Aldo to come at him with something, and he was going to counter him with the left straight. Most likely, Conor or someone in his camp, his trainer or something, watched that Kenny Florian fight, and they know what Aldo does to longer fighters, and he likes to throw those shots over the top, and he used that. So now we went through, Jose Aldo throws that combination. He does that kind of motion. Conor knew what to expect from Aldo, and how I know Conor was preparing for that: for one, the backstage footage. Two, Conor, he was picking at Aldo from the outside for a reason. And you can see from past fights and future fights afterward, when Conor fights shorter opponents, he tries to draw them in so he can counter them. He's done this many times in his fights. And his whole plan, his whole game plan was to get Aldo to explode forward like he always does and catch him down the middle. So the fact that he was picking at him with a leg kick, with a straight left hand, and just throwing quick shots at him, moving in and out, was to get Aldo to chase him, to get Aldo uncomfortable and get Aldo to expose himself and overextend. That, and also the fact that they know what Aldo does to longer fighters who have a similar sideways stance and long reach like Conor does, and that's when he fought Kenny Florian. So those two were not lucky. Now, people are claiming that if Aldo never threw that punch, he wouldn't have got knocked out if he did something else. Well, of course. That's the whole point of knockouts. The whole logic to knockouts are, one fighter has to put out a risk, or a fighter has to make a mistake or do something where the opponent will capitalize on it. It's pretty much fighter A makes a mistake, fighter B capitalizes. That's how a knockout happens. If fighter A does that same move to someone else and it works, then it's not a mistake. But if he does it to someone who expected it and capitalized, that results in a knockout. So that's a mistake. Saying if Aldo never threw that combination, he wouldn't have got knocked out. That's defeating the whole logic to knockouts. That's like saying if Fabricio Verdum never rushed at Stipe Miocic with this blitz of punches, he wouldn't have gotten knocked out. It's the whole logic to knockouts. They happen for a reason. They make a mistake and the opponent capitalizes. Now, very early in Conor McGregor's career, this was a 4-second knockout. And now watch the similarity between this fight and the fight with Aldo. Watch Conor's opponent. He steps on the outside, throws the right hand down the middle, but he doesn't fake it. Tries to come over the top with the left hook. And look at Conor's movements. Same exact thing he did to Aldo. This was pretty much an early replica of the Aldo fight. So another thing to consider, Conor has already seen this before and he's already knocked out someone in the same fashion. So now, could have Aldo tried to throw a leg kick? Could have Aldo tried to fake a shot and go under for one of his blast double leg takedowns? Yes, he could have done these. But Aldo had a game plan set. He has mind set on what he wanted to do here. Maybe Aldo rushed it a little too fast to attempt a combo like this, which resulted in a 13-second knockout. Maybe he tried to attempt this a little too early in the fight. But ultimately, if he was going to throw this combination after Conor starts picking at him from the outside, I ultimately believe that this was going to happen no matter when it happened. So looking at all these, do you still believe that this was a fluke? Do you still believe that this was all luck? That it will never happen again? Look, maybe this will never happen again because Aldo will most likely learn from his mistakes here. That's what will make a rematch differently if it ever happens. Aldo will learn from his mistakes. Maybe he'll try to take him down. Maybe he'll try to throw leg kicks at him. Maybe he will make Conor chase him and start moving around like he did against Frankie Edgar. This is what makes rematches always different than the first fights. And who knows, maybe Aldo can even beat Conor with a different strategy. So I'm not saying the rematch will be the same at all, because Conor had the perfect counter to that attack from Aldo. But that's not Aldo's only attack. So people saying, oh, the rematch is going to be 13 seconds. The rematch is going to be 12 seconds. Maybe it is. Who really knows until it happens? But the thing that we do know is that Conor has the perfect counter to that attack. Also, the other thing we know is that Aldo has many other attacks. And maybe Conor doesn't have to counter for those. He doesn't have the answer for those attacks. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've seen debates on this. I still see people arguing back and forth about, oh, this was a fluke for this and this and this. And I just wanted to give my sense on this. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something from it. If you guys agree with me or disagree with me, leave it in the comments below. I'm still curious to see what you guys think. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. For those who have already saw this breakdown before, this was a re-upload of this video, and I decided to re-upload it because I think it's an important video, an important breakdown of the Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor fight. A lot of people still seem to think that Conor got lucky in this fight, and I'm just here to show that this was a mastermind performance from Conor McGregor. For my next video, I'm going to make 2 breakdowns on the fights this weekend. So one on the boxing fight and then one for the MMA card. And for those wondering when my podcast is going to be out, I'm going to try to get it out by Sunday or Monday. So be looking out for all those. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.